Wall Street's losing streak continued today as the Dow closed the day down more than 300 points. The market started strong after gains in the Asian and European exchanges, but that eventually gave way to a sharp sell-off this afternoon. U.S. markets have fallen sharply since President Trump announced last week he would impose sweeping tariffs on a wide range of U.S. trading partners. As markets swing up and down by the hour and fears of a recession fly, the guy assigned to juggle all of it spent hours today getting an earful from members of Congress on both sides of the aisle, including two Northwest senators. The Trump administration's top trade representative, Jamieson Greer, tried to defend the president's tariffs to members of the Senate Finance Committee. Several Republicans say they're on board with the tariffs. They think it'll renew manufacturing in the U.S. Democrats, like Oregon Senator Ron Wyden, are wondering when it'll be over.
What is the plan? In the last week, the White House has been all over the map when it comes to this question. There is no clear message of how the tariffs were determined, what they're supposed to accomplish, how long they'll be in place, whether they're a negotiating tool or a move to try and cut the United States off from global trade and usher in a new era of 1870s-style protectionism.
Washington's Democratic Senator Maria Cantwell also went off, saying tariffs are the wrong way to help America's economy.
I'm for trade. I represent trade. I represent a trade economy. I represent the success of what innovation and trade get you. But you're coming here this morning with this not only tanking of the market and 401s, now you're coming here telling me that tariff is the tool. And I'm telling you innovation is the tool. You're telling us in your testimony you want a tariff on semiconductors. I'm saying that the last administration and this organization here passed the Chips and Science Act so we could reshore semiconductors here in the United States. So you're not going to win the innovation economy by tariffing semiconductors and reshoring that. I don't know what you think. I'm not trying to get the semiconductor. I want to lead on next generation semiconductor manufacturing because I'm pretty sure I'm sitting next to the Intel ranking member here who's going to tell me if we don't lead on semiconductor manufacturing and semiconductor next generation technology, then we're not going to be leading in defense or in AI or in anything. So I want to innovate my way to that future, and I want to use the alliance power of different countries to force China and other people to follow us instead of this berating of the American consumer who has to pay the price for this policy.
Greer says when it comes to tariffs, the responsibility is on other countries, whether they decide to retaliate or negotiate. Senator Wyden wasn't having it.
Foreign countries have already retaliated against our farmers and ranchers and small businesses. How can you commit that negotiations are not just going to stop bleeding, but are actually going to open up markets that the Trump tariffs have closed off?
So, Senator, we've already had many countries, many of our markets, explain that they are not going to retaliate against the United States. And in fact, Vietnam, for example, they've lowered their tariffs already on cherries. They've lowered them on almonds and apples, things I know are important to the Pacific Northwest. And this is exactly the right direction that we want to go in. I look forward to hearing from you what other kind of market access you want as we enter into these negotiations.
What's the status of China? As you know, that's a big market for us in the Pacific Northwest. What's the status of discussions there? I don't see much progress. What I see is it looks like it's going to escalate and escalate some more and hurt our consumers and our small businesses in our part of the world.
Well, Senator, unfortunately, China for many years seems to be choosing its own path on market access. Again, they have agency in this. They elected to announce retaliation. Other countries did not. Other countries signaled that they'd like to find a path forward on reciprocity. China has not said that.
And this budding trade war with China appears to only be getting worse. Another round of the president's tariffs are set to take effect after midnight tonight, including a massive 104% levy on Chinese imports. Greer says that about 50 countries have approached the U.S. ready to negotiate, and that decisions will be made on a country-by-country basis. So what is Congress doing about the tariffs? Senator Wyden, along with 5 Democratic and 1 Republican senator, introduced a resolution today that would repeal the tariffs. Whether or not that even gets a vote in the Senate is unclear. Last week, Senator Cantwell and Republican Senator Chuck Grassley introduced legislation that would require presidents to justify new tariffs to Congress. President Trump already indicated he would veto that idea if it even arrived to his desk, though it's widely expected to not even get a vote in the first place. Stick with us. We're back right after this.